Our next speaker is Senator Fortunato, Legislative District 31.
Thank you. So, many times we hear, count every legal vote, count every vote. You hear people talking about, we want an audit. I see some signs, we want to audit the votes. The problem that we face isn't counting the number of ballots. The problem that we face is they have already stuffed the ballot box.
Yep. All right.
I said on the Voter and Elections Committee, I walked into the committee meeting one time and I said, I want to vote illegally. I want to vote illegally as many times as I can. I want to register my dog. I want to register my cat. I want to register in multiple counties. I want to see if you can actually catch that. Because everybody talks about protecting voter integrity, the counting machines, the number of ballots, and all this other stuff. But it all starts with the voter registration process.
All right.
So I wrote a letter to the Secretary of State and I said, Secretary Wyman, do not certify this election until you are sure that it is not one ballot, one registration, but one ballot, one person.
All right.
So I got a response back and said, well, we do that anyway. I said, really? I said, my son moved out of my house and did a change of address 2 years ago. He gets 2 ballots. One to my address, one to his new address. And mysteriously, a 3rd ballot shows up. So now he's got 3 ballots. Slightly different name. This one has his middle name. The other one didn't have his middle name. So how many ballots are out there? The Democrats are going hell-bent for leather to make sure that felons vote, that when your 16-year-old goes and gets his driver's license, that they will automatically be registered to vote, that when they get their 18th birthday, they automatically get a ballot. They tried to get 17-year-olds who are going to be 18 on election day for the general election to be able to vote in the primary election. We need to make sure that we have a registration audit, not only a ballot audit. So I plan to introduce legislation that says we want, right now it is illegal for underage kids to buy booze. But the Liquor Control Board hires underage kids to attempt to buy booze because they are agents of the Liquor Control Board. So I intend to introduce legislation that says, I want to be an agent of the Secretary of State, and I want to test the system. I want to register as many times as I can, and if I do get a ballot, because start telling me they're going to catch multiple registrations, well, let's test that. Let's find out. I'm going to keep that little tab, and if the ballots make it to the canvass board and are actually counted, I can submit those tabs to the canvass board saying, pull these ballots. That's testing the system, and that's what we need to do. Now, I am shocked and appalled, quite frankly, that I see very few people here wearing masks. And I'm not sure whether you feel the same way I do, but I feel that my constitutional rights are constantly being infringed upon with these proclamation after proclamation. So, in the Senate, I said, I'm done voting for these proclamations. I'm not, and actually, if you read some of the proclamations, they're not bad. The executive orders with the masks and all that stuff are what's bad, but we don't have any control over that because we're not in session. That's why we've been fighting to go back into special session. And to be honest with you, there's an initiative here, I think it's what, 11-14 or something, to roll that back. 14 days, emergency powers for 14 days, and then you have to go to the legislature. Now, of course, it's a Democrat legislature, but make them vote. Make them take a stand. So the governor is constantly issuing these proclamation after proclamation. So I sent him a guidance document for developing guidance documents. So I have a little wine tasting company in my district. They have a little wine tasting room. And the governor issues a guidance document telling them in order for people to come inside the building to taste wine, they have to have 3 menu items of food items prepared on site. Now, so I wrote him a letter and I said, can you please explain to me how having 3 menu items prepared on site at a wine tasting room somehow has anything to do with the virus? Now, if you're not sure whether or not all this stuff has something to do with you constantly following government regulations and getting in line, and pretty soon it's going to be saying, if you want to go to church, you have to rub your belly and pat your head before you go in the door.
All right.
So I said, I'm issuing you a guidance document for preparing guidance documents, and fortunately, we have a very simple document that you can refer to. If you feel that you have to infringe on somebody's personal rights, their individual personal freedoms, the right to religion, the right to go to church, right to private property, you want to take away the right to be able to actually do their livelihood by threatening their business licenses, then here's a document that you can consult. And I send the web link to the Washington State Constitution. So let's just say, my wife and I prayed before I came down. We're going to pray again tonight. We're praying for this to go our way. But if it does not go our way, and President Trump is not reelected, I will leave you with 3 words of encouragement. Amy Cohen Barrett. So God bless America and God bless Donald Trump.